All right, I'm about to record for you what it sounds like when you take the muffler off your MK7.5 GTI, because I'm replacing it with a AWE track edition, but I took the old muffler off. Let's see what this sounds like. Pretty loud. It's cool for a minute, but I think if you had to live with it like this, it wouldn't be that cool. But I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so it was kind of a pain in the ass to get this off, and I had to, I don't have the greatest facilities at my house. I got ramps, I got 2 jack stands, and I got a nice big Touring jack right here. Sorry, my camera's all over the place. So as you can see right here is the clamp. Obviously that's the downpipe right there. Took that clamp off. There's 2 bolts, real pain in the ass. Originally, if you look here, if you're familiar with this, you'll see that I don't have a resonator. So about 3 or 4 months after I got this car, I got an exhaust shop to take the resonator off. So they just put a straight pipe in there, and it wasn't enough noise for me. It was stock exhaust on its own with the no resonator. So I finally bought, I got an AWE track edition. I'm gonna have the stock downpipe, of course. Right now I'm still under warranty. I'm not really all that interested in changing that, and I'm not really interested in tuning either. This is a manual. I don't really want to do clutch right now, so but anyway, disconnected that. Now I gotta go down here. There's this, sorry, my screen keeps cutting off. I want to see what I'm looking at. This black bracket right here, I'm gonna take that off, and there's a hanger right there that it's probably gonna be a real bitch to get off. I think I can unbolt it, but I think if I do, I unbolt something else. I need to take a look at it better. Get that off, and that'll drop this, and then the easy part will be getting the muffler side off down there, because there's 2 bolts that should be easy to get off. I know there's hangers there, but I really just would rather take the bolts off and take the hangers off of the bolts of the little brackets when I get them out of the car, as opposed to fighting them while I'm under the car. So I'm going to readjust and do that real quick. Okay, so I'm down in the back of the car. I was gonna try and use my creeper, but I'm not high enough up, and this is a bit precarious. Don't really like it that much, but here we go. So there's that hanger, and then there's this bracket that's got to go, and I'm trying to see, there is a bolt I can get right there, but I think this is the gas tank. It holds this gas tank bracket up. I wonder how bad that'd be if I took that out. I think it would be okay, but if I can't get this off, I might not have a choice. Let me put this down for a minute and see what I can do. All right, so as you can see, I got that hanger off. It was a bitch. Decided not to take that bolt off that holds this bracket up, because as you see, it's under this bracket, and if there's I don't know what would happen if there's a lot of gas in this tank, if it would fall, and I got weight on me, and I was not about it. So I finally got that out. I had to spray some liquid wrench on this to get it off. These bolts are all good. As you can see here, it's leaning on that now, so now I gotta take that bracket off, and then it's gonna fall, except for down here at the muffler end, and it'll be out. All right, so here's the old one. It's out. It was interesting. A couple hard parts. Down there where it's connected to the downpipe, I already talked about it. The bolts were tight and hard to get to, and I almost wonder if the guy that did my resonator delete put the bracket on upside down, because, or maybe it's supposed to be like that, but the bolts were up on the inside, like on top, and they were real difficult to get to. I had bendy wrench, and I was able to reach them and get them, but you know, if anybody's used one of these before, you know the angles when you really are trying to get a tough, tight bolt undone. It's hard to get it with one of these because it wants to, you know, buck either direction when you're trying to apply pressure, especially considering those bolts there wasn't a lot of clearance on them anyway, and I was trying to grab them by the top end and not getting really a good connection to them, so that was difficult. That top hanger was difficult, and these two, I haven't got them off yet. They look like they're going to be a real bitch because they're like twice the width of that one that's up there, so we'll see. Obviously I can't really record and try to do it at the same time. There's one over there too. I gotta do both of them. I put some liquid wrench on this one, that's why it looks a little bit wet, but I tried to get it off, and once I get those off, I'm going to bring out my new exhaust and we'll start that. Okay, so I got both these off, as you can see, and the method I use to do it, I grab them with this and pull back away and get this small screwdriver in on this end right over here, pry, let drop the wrench, just work this around in a circle, trying to get some distance, some opening, and then I came at it from the other side with this big flathead and tried to, almost like someone unbeating a tire, like starting and spinning it until you kind of lop it off, and I was able to get them off. They weren't that bad. It's just a technique to it. I'm sure there's probably millions of people that know better than me how to get those off, but that's the first time I ever had to get them off, and I got them off, so I'm happy, and we're moving on. Alright, so here's the new stuff. A WE track edition with the chrome tips. I kind of wanted the black ones, but they were like $60 more. I was like, it's not worth that. Besides, these will end up being black before too long with how much carbon these cars like to throw out the back of them. So anyway, I'm going to try to lay this out. I mean, I know how it goes in general, but I got to lay it out and figure out how I'm going to attack it and get it in there. So we'll see. Okay, so let me get this. So this is the first part. I'm gonna put this on, and it's a 3-inch pipe. Stock down pipe I think is 2.5, I believe. And so I had to use this coupler, and they had these brackets in the box. If I had a 3-inch down pipe, I wouldn't have to use it. These would just mate up. This would mate up with the down pipe, but they don't. So I had to put this on. This is gonna mate with the down pipe. That long bracket with the 2 bolts that I had a hard time getting off is the same. This part of the pipe is the exact same size as the down pipe, so they'll mate up, and I'll just slide that bracket over, tighten it down, and of course I got to get that hanger on at the end. And then the next part's gonna be fun because the muffler it's a section, it's over there on the ground. I don't know if you can see it around the corner. I don't want to get up right now because I just sat down. I'm about to get into the car, but it's gonna be the fun part because it doesn't have a hanger. I'm just gonna have to mate it to this end right here, probably use my other jack stand to kind of hold it up for a while until I get the last part up, which is going to have hangers. That muffler kind of sits in between the two parts, and it's just held up by each end, so there's nothing that hangs on. So that should be fun. But let me get this up and we'll go from there. Can't tell, am I recording or not? I think I am. Let's see. So I got all that on. I flipped that bracket upside down from where it was, so the bolts were down, which is easy. The hanger fit on pretty easy. Put that bracket back up. I'm happy so far. It seems to be going pretty good. So, you know, I'll just keep going. I got next part might be the tough part. The muffler, which as you can see at the end of the car, the back of the car is right there on the ground. It has no hanger, so it's going to have to bolt using a bracket directly to that, and probably use that jack stand down there to hold it up while I'm doing it until I can get the final part on, which is basically the exit. So let's do that. I got the muffler part in there. I did have to use the jack stand. It was kind of a pain. Yeah, you gotta hold it up, line it up, get it coupled with that other end of the pipe, get that bracket on, that 3-inch coupler bracket, or yeah, whatever you want to call it, and tighten the bolt up. And the whole time I was tightening it, it was, you know, the pipe wanted to come out because I was putting so much pressure on it, and it was wanting to come out. But I finally got it in there. I'm still going to keep that under there because it's still holding a good bit of weight up on this thing. As you can see, it's holding it up. Once I get this part on, I got to go back and tighten some stuff. I know down there at the downpipe connection, I didn't tighten it all the way because I wanted to make sure that I would give wiggle room for pipes having to move around if they had to. So I hadn't tightened all that, but once I get this part on and kind of get it all together, I'll go backwards and tighten some stuff up. Now this one that I did right here at the muffler, I tightened the hell out of that, so I don't know if I'll go back to that one because I tightened it so hard the car started shaking. I was afraid I was going to bring it down on me, but anyway, it should be tight. I wanted to try and get as much tightness on that as I could so it'll hold those two pieces together and that muffler won't come off that jack stand. So let me get the hanger pieces on this part right here, which is the end, and I got to get the tips on the end as well. I'm going to do that before well, I might wait till I get it up. I don't want to scratch them up or anything because I've been having to fight it getting it up, and if I drop it I don't want to scratch the tips, so I'll probably put those on at the end. It'll be easy. They'll be right here at the ends of it, so shouldn't be that hard. Let me get this up and we'll go from there. Okay, so I got it up here, tightened it down pretty good. I think everything lined up okay, because if not it wouldn't have, I don't think the mounts would have lined up that great if I didn't get it done on the way. I'm trying to figure out, I guess I'm going to put the tips on, see if they lined up good, because you know, you don't want them touching the diffuser, but in my opinion they look pretty even on each side. So we'll just see what we got from there. All right, so got that tip on and it looks pretty good. These are pretty strange because if you look here, I'm gonna put this on without the clamp just so I can show you. If you look here, obviously you gotta line that up, and there's the inner pipe, is the actual part of the pipe itself is gonna be exposed. And I'm gonna have to do some adjustments on this one because it looks like this side's out a lot farther, so I don't know why that is. But the clamp that you have to tighten it down so far that it's crazy. something's not right with my lining up either, because I'm cattywampus in here. It looks like I need to go back in a little bit further on this side, because if I push this in to line up with that damn pipe's gonna be poking way out in there and looking stupid. So something's not right. I'm gonna have to get under it and look. Let me take a look real quick. All right, so I finally got it. I had a little bit of issue lining these tips up. I think the inside pipe here on this side just is a bit too long, honestly. And at first I thought it was because I had stuff twisted and I got up under there, and you know, maybe there is some stuff that's kind of turned strange, but in all honesty, I fought it a good bit. One of the things I fought primarily, let me get up under here, just like I thought, this pipe right here, there's nothing that holds it up other than this pipe and these hangers from this pipe, and then on the other side it holds on to them with these clamps, this clamp and that clamp down there, and it's heavy, so it wanted to fight me and not really tighten down to it. I had to adjust these brackets. The key to these brackets are getting them on the far end of the piece that they're clamped onto, where there's cutouts, so you can squeeze them. If you try to put them on there a little bit further back, it won't squeeze it tight enough. And I had that muffler on, and I took the jack stand out from under it one time, and it just completely came off the coupler down there and fell off. So I didn't get that, even though I had it tightened as tight as I could, I didn't have it far enough down on the end of the clamp, on the end of the coupler mark, where it could actually tighten down. So kind of a pain. I don't know if they got lost when I unboxed it or what, but there was no instructions that I found with this box from AWE. I looked it up online, and even the instructions I saw online didn't give a lot of insight as to the clamps. It just said tighten them down as much as you could. So that's what I did. So I haven't started it up yet. I'm really just been testing this out, hitting it a little bit, seeing if I get any wiggle, because like I said, this whole entire section right here flat out just fell and hit the ground at one point, because it wasn't, these clamps weren't holding it. This one was holding it okay. It was that far end one that it just fell flat out of, because it pivoted and just flipped right out of it. So I'm about to start it up for the first time, hear what it sounds like. I'll also be able to hopefully see if there's, or tell if there's any type of leaks or anything. So here we go. Let's see. I'm gonna try and set the camera up so I can put it on the back and see what we got. Let's see. Too obnoxious, but it's definitely noisier than it was, which is what I was looking for. I mean, eventually I may go down pipe. I gotta be honest, if I do down pipe, I'm probably gonna get somebody else to do it for me, because even though this job wasn't the worst, it was pretty difficult for me with these ramps and a jack and jack stands to do. And yeah, I'm not too sure I'm up for trying to do the downpipe on my own. But even if I did it, it's probably gonna be a while, maybe a couple years. Car's at 40-something thousand miles, still under warranty. I know a lot of dealerships don't really, they're pretty mod friendly, but I'm not gonna take that chance. I'm just gonna probably go to the end of my warranty, and then I'll do what I want to do. But I'm happy with the sound. It's a little bit better, and I think under acceleration, that's the nice thing under idle, as you can tell. It's fairly tame, but I think under acceleration it'll be a little bit louder and should be nice. So, alright, that's it. Got to do an acceleration with the new exhaust. Of course, there's a lot of background noise as well, but we'll see if it comes up good.